Is that one of those stupid songs you learn in elementary?
Forward, forward.
Dude, that's like a classic 1950s song, I think.
Heel forward, toe, heel forward, walk backwards.
C, G, there we go.
That's what toe
Woo.
to the next side, and it's just that a billion times until the song ends. And I also learned that the song says whiskey women. It's like a 30-minute song or something. Rebecca's here. You should just call up Rebecca and Ben for the Torah.
Light candles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that might be a little much.
Why?
Rebecca, did you bring your father or your mother? Mother?
She's right there.
Oh, there you are. I didn't see. Sorry.
I like how you said, did you bring her?
Would the two of you like to light candles together? Is that a no? That's a no from Mom. Are you willing to come up on your own? Or with your mom to hold your hand? That's why I said together. Great, sounds good.
Oh, and you're coming up for Torah.
Sorry, Regina.
Elena.
Shush. Rebecca said, oh my God, what did I put myself into?
It's all good. It's all good. Okay. I think we might be almost ready. That's ready, that's ready, that's ready. This is cool. Okay.
I just stand here and not do anything the whole time.
Because then I look like my mother. And that I don't want to have. I'm motherly enough already. Then I look like Rabbi.
Sit over there.
Then I still look like Rabbi.
Oh, you can't be up here and not look like a rabbi or your mom.
What was that?
Nothing.
She wants to stand up here
But
or
at
not,
the same time, I don't want to look like Rabbi or Mama.
or be a part of the service.
You don't, because you're like not 6 feet tall or have a beard, right? And you're also not 40 whatever.
I'm like 11, whatever.
And you're still quite shorter than your mother. So I don't think anybody would accidentally think
She's
you're your
only a
mother.
head taller than me.
Okay, you two decided we were going to be sitting for services. Max, I'll call you up. I'll call you both up at the appropriate times. When the time comes, I'll call you up. The room feels a bit lopsided. I'm glad you are all such lovely friends and wanted to sit with each other. It's wonderful. These chairs are lonely, but that's okay. They'll survive. Barry, no need to change anything. It's all good. Who knows? Maybe they'll get some friends later. We're going to start on not a page. What are you doing?
You can just face that way.
No, this is multi-directional. It doesn't need to be.
That's
Yeah. We're going to start with a nigun that's not on any page because it has no words. But you will at some point in services need this handout page here. And I'll tell you where on it we are when we're there. There are, I think, a few things in here that I decided I wanted to use in this evening's service. As y'all know, Rabbi Lipper is having a blast in the homeland. So he couldn't be here this evening. So this is what happens when he tells me, you go ahead, do what you want. There'll be a lot of singing because what I find for me, this is true for me, it might be true for you. I hope it's true for you. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But it's this. Whenever I am in a, we'll call it difficult space, usually a difficult emotional space, I find that if I just play and sing for a while, everything feels better afterwards. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about our Shabbat service in general, that whatever you bring into this space from your week, whatever's been going on, you can come and sit and sing and pray and be with the community. And hopefully when you walk out the door, it's a fresh start. So we'll start with this nigun. It's called the Nigun of the Birds. So you can maybe imagine birds flying around. I imagine that's who inspired it. Oh, yadi-da-da-da-da-da-oh, 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 yada-di-da-da. Oh, yadi-da-da-da-da-da-oh, yadi-da-da-da-da-da-oh, Shabbat, lighting the candles, and I've asked the ladies of the Fick household to come and do that for us. We're on page 2.
No, light. Okay. Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. God, it went up.
It's okay. Relight it and then start over. It's all good. You got to shield it a little bit so that it catches well, because the AC likes to blow it out. Okay, that was caught well.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mizvotav v'tzivanu. Wait, what? Lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Well done. We're going to turn to page 20 for Lachadodi. We'll sing as usual verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
גם בשמחה וצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לחרדי, טיפת קלה, בני שבת, חבלה, לחרדי, טיפת קלה, בני שבת, נקבלה.
We've welcomed Shabbat, so let's take a moment to turn to the folks around us, say Shabbat Shalom, and welcome each other. guys all sat down. That's perfect. Okay, so I forget exactly what he calls it when we take a moment before we, guys, take a step back. Traditionally, in very traditional communities, the mourners, people who are in mourning, don't actually come into the service until after the L'Charodi. And it creates an opportunity for the community to kind of, for those folks to kind of distinguish themselves from the community in a way that allows the community to recognize their need and their circumstances. I share that because I think this is an important pause point in our service traditionally. And so we paused for this greeting. We've been doing that for a very long time. But Rabbi Lippers added in this idea of us sharing, what's going on in our lives a little bit with each other, with the community. He has a word for it. I don't remember how he calls it. He calls it what? Simchas? Yeah. So there's this other community that I work with. That's in Austin. They call it Oys and Joys. So that's what was coming to my mind. So Oys and Joys. So really, if you have something you're celebrating recently that you'd like to share, or perhaps something that's causing you tsuris, a little bit of struggle that you'd like to share, so people know about it also. We can give you support that way. Now is an opportunity. So. If you have an oy or a joy, who'd like to share? Ahava clearly wants to share first. It's always good to have somebody who wants to jump in and start. Go.
I had my birthday party, and I'm going to get braces back on, which is kind of more of an oy than a joy.
Indeed. It was a nice break. Anyone else? She said she had a birthday party. That was a joy. And her oi, she's getting her braces on again, or getting rebraced this week. She had a short respite. 3 months. It's 3 months of gum chewing and eating things. Anyways, yeah. Oh, you're not obligated to share both. If you just have an oi or you just have a joy, that's fine. Michael and then Sharon. Mazel tov. It's lovely. Excellent. All right. It's never too late. Yeah. Go ahead. So sorry to hear it. Oh. Sorry for your loss, and glad you're here with us. Others, anyone else? Yeah. joy. Wow. Wow. Awesome.
Me and my wife had a boy and a boy all at the same time. We have now been more involved in this year's gala. Some extra help with food and helping out making it a success.
I thought, it's in the announcements too. If you didn't hear what Barry said, we'll remind you later. Awesome.
My parents live here in Houston, so they used to leave about 35 minutes away, and now they moved and they leave about 5 minutes. It's a boy, but I think it's a boy and boy at the same time.
Yeah, life is full of mixed blessings. Yeah. Wow. That was, I think that might have been our most robust one of these sharing sessions yet. So, all right. That's wonderful. Thank you all for sharing. Anyone else, just in case we missed anyone? Herb?
I'm just so happy to be here with you all, with our dear friends, with my wife. It's good. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. It is wonderful to all be together. I neglected to welcome our friends who are joining us virtually. It's good to have you with us too. And so we'll continue our service with Baruch Hu, which is, oh no, we're not. We're going to continue our service with the Chatzi Kaddish, which is on page 26. Yitkana v'yitkada shemei rabba B'yama tivrach chirute v'yamlich malchute B'chayechon uv'yomechon Uchayedecho be'Yisrael Bagala bagala Ubizman kari v'meru Amen Yehi shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam u'lo me'omaya Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shemei Kudesha, B'richu, Le'la min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damihiran V'yoma, V'meru, Amen. I'm going to invite Max to come join us as we all rise as able for Baruch Hu on page 28. Ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam, Le'olam Va'ed. Yadai, 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 We read together in Hebrew at the top of page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim v'chochma poteh she'arim uvitvuna meshaneh itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei hoshech v'choshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umevi layla
Umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Okay, you can go sit down if you want. We're going to continue on the handout with number 4, We Are Loved. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we're too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We turn the page for Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. We can be seated. And we're going to continue back in the prayer book. Sorry about that slight confusion. On page 36. You start. You start.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We're going to continue at the top of page, nope, at the bottom of page 38. Let's read together. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaohs, sign and wonders in the lands of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. On page 40, we continue with Mi Chamocha. Back to the handout. Hashkivenu is on the backside, number 9. Spread the save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu v'shalom, v'hamidenu shomenu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu v'shalom, v'hamidenu shomenu l'chaim. Back to the prayer book, at the top of page 44. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat u'lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam v'mitolam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat u'lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam v'mitolam. Beini u'ben b'nei Israel oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat u'lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam v'mitolam. Ki sheshe yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat u'lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam v'mitolam. Ubayom hashvi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat u'lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam v'mitolam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat u'lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam v'mitolam. Okay, we've reached the Amidah. I want to try something that we haven't done before. A new melody for Adonai Sfatai that's going to then show up again when we get to page, page 52. And instead of singing what we normally sing there, we're going to try the thing that's on the left side, the poetic thing there, that's on page 53. All right? So just so you know what's coming. I got very creative today. Most of you know that I work at the Emory Wiener School. And we have this really fun tradition. We have a lot of traditions. Good communities have lots of traditions. And one of them is this thing called Gag Day. Gag stands for Great Aunt Gertrude, who may or may not be the head of school's aunt, great aunt. He keeps that kind of fuzzy. And it's built on a tradition from the school that he went to when he was a youngster. That basically there's some day, unbeknownst to anybody in the year, until it shows up, where during our assembly, which is after second period, essentially the programming is surprise interrupted. We have some kind of fun thing. This year it was music from provided by two members of our faculty who are professional musicians and a couple of buddies of theirs. And then everybody's dismissed for the day. That's it. School's over. And so you get this found time, this day of unexpected free time because you had no idea what was coming because there are about 4 people on campus who actually know this thing was happening. Because it needs to be held that closely as a secret in order for it to be and remain a surprise. But it's a beautiful thing to have found time, to have had a day planned, and to have the programming that was expected to happen, the things you were going to be doing with your day disappear. So today gave me the opportunity to get a little bit more playful with the music. Found time shows up, and I hope that when it does show up, for whatever reason, whether you were excited about the thing you were going to be doing that day or not, and all of a sudden you have some numbers of hours of free time that you can make the most of it. Truly, that's what Shabbat's meant to be. That found time that's not already spoken for, that the cares of our world or our lives are not things that we focus on, but we just take that time to, as Vishamru says, Shavat vayinafash, to rest and refresh, to be re-enlivened, or to have our souls renewed. That's probably the best interpretation of vayinafash. So hope this evening is bringing some of that soul renewal. If it hasn't yet, I hope what we'll do with the rest of the evening will. It's the Amidah, so I'm supposed to ask you all to please rise if you're up for it. Adonai svatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai svatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. One more time. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid teilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, leman shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham v'ezrat Sarah, atah gibor leolam Adonai, mechayeh hakol atah, Rab lehoshia, Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, Mechakel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'nemanat alachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Page 53. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you? Ever-present, eternal one. My heart cries out to you. Please draw near to me. The moment I reach out to you, I find you reaching in for me. Where might I go to find you? Exalted, hidden one. Yet where would I not go to find you? Ever-present, eternal one. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We can be seated. Let's read together on page 55, the second reading. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt trembles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 59. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot. Page 60, Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha tasim leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et amacha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Take a moment for a silent personal prayer. Sorry. If you need the words, they're on page 62, towards the bottom. Yihiu leratzon imrefi imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yihiu leratzon imrefi imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'go'ali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'go'ali. Yihiu leratzon imrefi imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yihiu leratzon imrefi imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'go'ali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'go'ali. Yihiu leratzon imrefi imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yihiu leratzon imrefi imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. We're at the part of our service where we're going to pray for those members of our family, friends, community who are ill. I have the lists here of folks who are on the official list, and then we'll take a moment for if you have anybody to add that was not previously mentioned, and then we're going to sing the prayer for healing that's number 11 on the handout. So this week we're praying for healing for John Deakins, Debbie Simon, the Martinez family, Violet Villarreal, Xavier Villarreal, Joan Adler, Philip Richardson, Alan Levin, Shirley Levin, Veronica Lee Strulovich, Bruce Arbitblit, Tanya Thompson, Rob Seltzer, Todd Malinek, Terry Vaughn, Aaron Kugler, Mary Para, Donna Leese, Nancy McIntyre, David Brownfield, Charlotte Motley, David Bonfil, Emily Diamond, Margot Seckler, Bill Ellis, and
Sinai, Kim and Tyler here.
okay, prayer for healings on it's number 11 on the back side there. El Narifanale, El Narifanale, El Narifanalanu, El Narifanale. Source of life, source of all, heal our bodies, heal our souls, source of comfort, source of strength, may we be whole. El Narifanale, El Narifanale, El Narifanalanu, El Narifanale. Heal our loved ones, heal our friends, pour out your spirit, bring peace without end. El Narifanale, El Narifanale, El Narifanalanu, El Narifanale, El Narifanale, El Too much stuff going on here on the table. Self a little space. So earlier this week, I went to meet with a colleague, a young colleague who's new to the school. And as I entered his classroom, I found him wearing a funny hat. It was something akin to like an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, except for in hat form, like plushie. And I immediately knew what was going on because he was celebrating the arrival of the month of Adar. The Hebrew month of Adar is the month in which we celebrate Purim. And there's this line in Talmud, Misha nichnas Adar marbim besimcha. When Adar begins, our joy is increased. And so Rosh Chodesh, the new month of Adar, the first day of Adar, is kind of a special celebratory day. That's why he was wearing the funny hat. There's certain times of year with cultural markers. You might have noticed ashen foreheads as some of our neighbors earlier this week transitioned from Mardi Gras to Lent. Or you might be feeling a little bit of rodeo fever with the trail riders coming through town and people dressing up for Go Texan Day. Right? To me, perhaps many of you, however, This time of year, I start to think about Purim, and followed closely by Passover. As I was thinking about what I wanted to share today, I can't help but think about the preoccupation of the learning that I've been doing with my students for the last several weeks. We've been immersing ourselves in the challenge of the modern Jew, exploring what it means to have a Jewish identity in a world of choice. We live, fortunately, in an era in history in which we have freedom of self-definition and freedom of association that allows us to choose the communities with which we associate, rather than be forced to live our lives according to someone else's terms and definitions. What's the place of our Jewish identity as we participate fully in this open society in which we live? That's the question my students and I have been pondering and trying to figure out. They're still working on it. I want to share some models of how we might enter the world as Jews that appear in these upcoming holidays, Purim and Passover. And I want to reflect on them a little in the context of a well-known verse from this week's Torah portion, Truah. The Purim story actually offers two models of Jewish identity. You're no doubt familiar with the model of Mordechai, who refused to bow down to Haman, the villain of the story. In chapter 2, verse 5, he's referred to as a Yehudi, a Jew. It's the first known use of the term. It's also a little bit perplexing, because Jew seems to imply that he's a Judahite from the tribe of Judah. But when he's introduced as the son of Yair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjaminite. That's a different tribe. You can't be from two tribes. Rashi explains that their tribal identity, that their tribal identities are different, and that really they're all from the kingdom of Judah, and therefore Jews. It's a national, perhaps ethnic identity. And it's actually the community of Jews from whom we are all descended. That's why we're called Jews. What might more easily have slipped by your notice is the two times, only a few verses later in the same chapter, that speak to Esther's expression of her Jewish identity. As Esther's brought into the king's palace for potential selection as the queen, the Megillah takes care to mention that she did not reveal her nationality or ethnicity, her Am or her Moleret, her nation or the place of her birth. And I think place of birth being maybe perhaps metaphorical, because she might have been born in Persia. And she did that, she didn't reveal those things because that's what her uncle Mordechai directed her to do. He said, don't. And at the end of the selection process, the Megillah reaffirms that she withheld her nationality and ethnicity as Mordechai directed her to do. Of course, we know that she's ultimately going to reveal her identity to her husband, the king, at just the right moment to frustrate Haman's plans at the tea party, where the story's table turn and our redemption begins. But it's remarkable that not once, but twice, the Megillah emphasizes that she identified as a Jew and kept that secret held within. You might identify a little bit with Esther in having done something similarly yourself. I certainly do. I'll contrast that with another set of characters from the Passover story, from the Haggadah. The four children, particularly the two children who express something of their identity in their question. The wise child asks, "What are these stories, laws, and rules that Adonai our God commanded you?" The wicked child asks, "What's this ritual to you?" We chastise the wicked child, literally kick him in the teeth, because in their question, they've separated themselves from the community. This is probably familiar to you. It's a blasphemy, says the Haggadah, a denial of a cardinal principle of Judaism. But if you notice, the wise child also said, "you," that God commanded of you. So why isn't that child perceived to have excluded himself from the collective, from the community? They use the same word, "you." The answer, again, if you paid close attention and remember his question well, is because of the phrase in his question where he acknowledges Adonai, our God. That wise child says, what are the stories, laws, and rules that Adonai, our God, commanded you? The terminology is similar, but that child hasn't excluded themselves, hasn't set themselves outside the community, or rejected their association with the nation whose laws they're asking about. So let's turn to our Torah portion of Truma. To set the stage, this is the beginning of the building of the tabernacle, the last stage of the three-part divine program of the book of Exodus. There's so many details, we often lose the big picture. To recap the story quickly, God redeemed us from slavery in Egypt, then gave us Torah, and now God's going to have us build the Mishkan, a portable shrine for God to dwell among the people. That's the verse I want to get to. From a spiritual perspective, the overarching narrative is that of God fulfilling the covenant of redemption and protection made to our ancestors and renewing that covenant through the intense, miraculous, intimate, and terrifying experience at Mount Sinai. This new relationship is first embodied in laws that express its ethics in all aspects of daily life. That was last week's Parashat Mishpatim, which is full of rules and rules and rules and rules. Those rules are about taking that revelation at Sinai and trying to find ways to express it in all the various things we do. One verse in this week's Parsha, I think actually I skipped a line here. Now we get another embodiment of that relationship with the instructions for where, when, and how we encounter God in the tabernacle, a portable mini Mount Sinai. One verse early in the Parsha that's probably familiar to you because we rabbis like to talk about it a lot, expresses the goal of the project and also gives us some context for how we're going to think about the ways Esther and the two children express their Jewish identity. God says, "Va'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham," make me a sanctuary that I may dwell in their midst. We usually read the verse literally, in a sort of field of dreams, if you build it, he will come kind of a way. Make a physical place for God, for the community to encounter God, and God's going to be there. God will be there. But we can also take the verse only slightly less literally, with a little bit of creative reading as well. It's almost barely creative reading. Betocham, in their midst, can also mean inside them. Make a sanctuary in yourself for God to dwell in you. When I think of the contrast between Esther and the wise child on the one hand and the wicked child on the other hand, I can't help but think that the key element is the self-identification with the community. Esther and the wise child see themselves as Jews, as members of the group. The wicked child doesn't. It's about being part of the ethnicity, the tribe. It's about being part of the nation, the people who once in the past made and now again make their national home in Israel, the land of our ancestors. It's also about our communal experience of God, the one who redeems us in every generation from Egypt, from Haman, and from numerous others. It's about our relationship with the one we encountered long ago at Sinai, the one whose call we respond to in the rules and rituals that are meant to build a more just world, the mission given to us as a people. The one we encounter to this day when, like the tabernacle, we build the space into our lives to show up as a member of the tribe in our Jewish communal spaces, our contemporary tabernacles. When we show up as Jews in public and hold our identity close and personal like Esther, or even proclaiming as the wise child our shared and special relationship with God. We're going to continue with announcements. Representing our board this evening, I'd like to welcome Jennifer Crabella to the Bima.
Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our members, guests, and our virtual congregants. We hope that your participation this Shabbat is meaningful, and a special thanks to Beth Everett for bringing pies and finger sandwiches for tonight's Onig in honor of her birthday.
That was last week's notes. That was last week. No. I think the rest of it's okay. Last week was Beth's birthday. Last week was the finger sandwiches and pies.
I'm just reading. Look, it says February 24th.
No, you're totally right. That somehow didn't get taken out of there. Sorry.
Great. My first time being board rep, and you're having me read the wrong thing.
I hope you won't be disappointed by the Onig.
Okay, let me share with
I think
you
are still relevant.
some upcoming events that might interest you. Please join us for the Murder Mystery Show presented by Sky next Saturday, March 4th from 6 to 8. The show is What Really Happened to Rabbi Annie, and you can see the weekly shofar for details. Our Purim celebration is taking place at Temple Sinai on Monday, March 6th at 6 p.m., and you can come enjoy some delicious Homentashen Onig after the services. There is a crash course in Jewish history on March 7th. Join Rabbi Lipper for a whirlwind tour beginning in the biblical world and continuing to modern day. Classes are Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Also, please join us for our gala, we'll honor Rabbi Officer Rick on Saturday, March 25th at 6 p.m. Officer Rick, tickets and sponsorships are now on sale. Please see the weekly shofar or contact Cindy in our office for details. Additionally, the nominating committee is looking for volunteers to serve on the committee for the 23-24 Board of Trustees. If you're interested in help serving the community, contact Erica Schwam. For more details, look in the shofar. And please join us, also on Sunday we have Maj at 9:15 for anyone who wants to come and learn how to play Maj or play Maj. And on Wednesday, March 1st, we have jewelry making in the evening. And please join us for Kiddush and the Hamotzi following the service.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Well done. Well done. Something else?
The lasagna house.
We're having a what do we call that group? Sinai Night Out. At the Lasagna House. That's tomorrow night. What time? 6 p.m. At Lasagna House 3, which is where? That's the one down Eldridge? Yeah. Okay. That's the one at the corner of Eldridge and Westheimer. What was the time again? 6 p.m. All right. Central. Yes, don't show up an hour late or early. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm sorry we got some of the confusion there. That's it. She's never coming back. No, we'll make sure to have you back again. And like you heard before, if you have any questions about the gala, Barry and Deanna will be happy to answer them. Okay, Barry will be happy to answer them. Let's see. I got to get myself back together here. That's not there's my notes. What we're up to. All right. Aleinu, page 283. Please rise. Oh, right. And children, please come and open the ark. And you're defined as a child if you still live in your parents' house. Or self-defined, because we live in a free society and you can decide for yourself. Page 283, then 85 and 87. Yeah, go ahead.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gdula liotzer breshit, shehu sam chelkeinu liacher et shemo, v'gohor aleinu lehamlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Noteh Shamayim V'Yoser Haaretz, U'Moshav Ikaro B'Shamayim Imal, U'Shchinatu Zo, Begovhei Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kakatu B'Torato, V'yarata yom Be'ashevota Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim Imal, V'al haaretz mitachat Einod, V'nemar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. You may be seated. Turn to page 290, please, and we're going to read reading number 4. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. This week, we remember Zelda Halpert, grandmother of Corinne Stallnacker, Therese Ach, mother of Josette Hart, Herbert Meyer, grandfather of Debbie Simon, Isidore Hamlin, father of Emily Deakins, Millie Heppen, grandmother of Eric and Amy Heppen, Harry Kolker, Hildegard Berman, mother of Mark Berman, Gertrude Hecht, grandmother of Ellen Heller, Shloshim, and in the period of Shloshim, we remember Anna Laura Martinez, aunt of Joy Villarreal. And we also remember
Susan Parrish.
with memories of them in our hearts, we rise from Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yomad yivrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbam vorach leolam lomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechmata, ta'amiran be'oma v'imuru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imuru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imuru amen. May the one who creates peace in the heavens grant peace to us, to all Israel, and together we say, Amen. You can be seated. Actually, probably shouldn't have said that. Children, find your parents. We are going to share in the blessings of those who are with us, family and friends. For our sons, we're on page 299, sorry. For our sons, we say, or to our sons, we say, Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chim Menashe. May God make you like Ephraim and Menashe.
And to our daughters we say, Yisimech Elohim Kasar Rivka Rachav Leah. May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And let's gather all of those who are, and make sure you got somebody that you're holding on to. Don't be alone. Share in the blessing. Join as a community in some way. We say, Yevarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence within you, betocham, always, and may you find peace. Together we say, Amen. We are going to close with a song of community, page 338. Ameh, Am Yisrael Chai. The people of Israel live. Let's see. You have a question? No? I saw you throw up your hands. Oh. Well, so then I should say it again. 338. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll regather in the corridor for Kiddush and Motzi.